All right, welcome in, guys. Farzin Vasugian here with you. Oh boy, yeah, that sucked. Oh, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Chiefs are still 6-2, tied for the best record in the AFC, and obviously next week's game, some big implications there in that one. I know the Dolphins have been kind of an up and down team, but we'll discuss that later in the week. But just makes next week's game much more important to win, because we all know how important it is, the number one seed, getting that in the AFC, especially for the Chiefs. So they got a lot of things to figure out for next week's game, and they've got not really a short week, but they've got to travel and do all of that. Yeah, I see all of you guys in the comments. Yeah. All right. My name is Farzin Vasugian. We got to get to it because we have a lot of things to get into. Obviously, we have a lot of people who probably want to comment on the game. So I'm going to get to all of you guys. You know what? We haven't done this in a while. I want you to call into the show. Let me paste that. We haven't done video call-ins in a while. You guys know me. I bring the same energy, win or lose. See, we already have far more viewers than we do for a normal post-game show. I put the link in the comments if you guys want to comment. Yeah, it's like a Christmas tree right here. The comments are just lighting up. Woo. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of things to get into. I've got a lot of things to mention here. Before we get into the show, got to let you guys know this podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek. Go to SeatGeek.com. Use the promo code FARZIN to save $20 off. This is good for first-time customers only. So if you've never purchased from SeatGeek before, you can sign up, create an account, use my promo code FARZIN, and you will get $20 off your first purchase from SeatGeek. Go to SeatGeek.com. Go to a concert, sporting event, whatever it may be. SeatGeek has those tickets for you, and you can use the promo code FARZIN to save $20 off your first purchase and enjoy your event. Hopefully your event doesn't go like it did in this one for the Chiefs. Yeah, this was pretty bad. Let me just say this right now off the get-go. The Chiefs need the Chiefs need a new wide receiver, okay? I'm just looking at the receivers right now. Rashee Rice, everyone probably would say, is our best wide receiver. Justin Watson he's been the guy that, his yard per catch average is so high, but the Chiefs don't use him enough. He's not he's the guy who's low on the depth chart. So what do you have? You have MVS, has not been good this year. I just got a notification from Bleacher Report. Chiefs need to trade for a wide receiver. You're damn right on that one, Bleacher Report. Who stepped up in this game? Mecole Hardman, he just came back and he's already becoming a liability. The guy has a tremendous talent, but man, it's just, you're dealing with the same issues with him again. He just got back to the team. Didn't he have 2 drops last week? And then he fumbled the punt return here. Here's the crazy part about the Chiefs is you have Kadarius Toney. He had his drop issues in week 1, and so did Sky Moore in week 2. I don't think anyone. No. In week 2, you had Richie James on a punt return fumbling. Week 3, you had Rashee Rice who fumbled. Justin Ross, I know he's not playing right now. He's on the commissioner's exempt list. He had a couple of drops in that Minnesota Vikings game. Rashee Rice had a wide open drop in this one. Sky Moore in the end zone. And I don't know if that statistically counts as a drop, but he's there. It hit his arm, not his hand. So I don't know if statistically that counts as a drop or not. You might as well just count that as a drop. The point is he was wide open by himself. He just failed at that point right there. The Chiefs offense, I don't really know if I'm confident in this group of wide receivers moving forward. And even in the first meeting between the Chiefs and Broncos, these wide receivers, they weren't coming through. They were getting open, but Mahomes' lack of confidence. There was even a point late in the game. The game was already far out of reach, but Mahomes has Kadarius Toney to his right, and Mahomes is not even throwing to him. wide open. I mean, you could probably get 5, maybe 10 yards from Kadarius Toney. Mahomes not even going at his direction. So there's a lot to get into here with the way the Chiefs are operating, the way they're moving the football. I'm not confident at all with this receiving group moving forward. But guys, I'm just going to say right now, hey, much love to all of you watching and commenting. But we're not going to get to everyone's comments. We're just not. Joe says 4th and 2 and you go to the end zone. Okay, I see that. And by the way, I was talking to Zach, and he was texting me. He said, you guys know Zach. He's been on the podcast many times. He said, why do you go to Sky Moore there? And my response was, who do you go to? I mean, who do you throw the ball to? I mean, you can't just keep throwing to Travis Kelce every single snap, as awesome as he is. You just can't keep going to him. And listen, even Travis Kelce had a drop today. I know we're talking wide receivers specifically, but I mean, he was even a liability at times. Noah Gray, I mean, that's not a guy you go to traditionally, but he had some key catches late in the game. I don't know, man. I'm not even sure. Like, if you don't think Sky Moore is a good idea for going to the end zone, who do you throw to? Who do you go to? Like, yeah, Hardman. I mean, his first game back was nice when he had that nice punt return, but I guess in general, is that, are we back to seeing the same McCole? Because he had a couple of drops in last week's game too. So I don't know. You gotta do something. I know there was a report that came out earlier today, and they said that the Chiefs are one of 5 teams. I think it was the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Ravens, the Cardinals, and one other team. They're not looking to make any moves at the trade deadline. I mean, if you're the Chiefs, yeah, I get it. You're coming into this game. You are 6-1 with the best record in the AFC, tied for the best record in the NFL. Now the second best record in the NFL. But why would you not look to improve your football team? The offense has not been living up to expectations. They just haven't. And you're content with this offense. Listen, people are allowed to change their minds. You're allowed to have a change of heart here. And I damn well hope that Brett Veach changes his mind in the next 2 to 3 days, because there's no way anyone, like, if you are a member of the Chiefs coaching staff in the front office and you're sitting here saying that you don't need to go get anyone at the trade deadline, bullshit. Complete bullshit. You have to make a move. I mean, we cannot just we can't just sit there and say this is an okay receiving group here. Somebody was commenting, where's Toney? Kadarius Toney, that is. Where was any wide receiver in this game? If you just look at the stat line, Rashee Rice was your best wide receiver, 4 catches for 56 yards. Justin Watson, 2 for 42. MVS, 2 for 27. Man, I mean, this is these stat lines are brutal. McCole Hardman, 2 of 13. And you know what? I'll even say this. What's happened to Jerick McKinnon? 2 off seasons in a row, the Chiefs re-signed him. Everyone, including me, was thrilled to have him back. But Jerick McKinnon's not doing the things that we're used to seeing him doing. He's just not. The Chiefs were held to no touchdowns in this game. I'm trying to think of the last time the Chiefs did not have a touchdown. I want to say it was the Tennessee game 2 years ago. To go an entire game without a touchdown. Obviously, I know a lot of people want to have that erased from their memories, but the 2 games that come to mind right away are the Super Bowl 55 and the Tennessee game from 2 years ago. Plus this one. Yeah, not good. And props to the Broncos. Their offense was not really that good. Russell Wilson, 12 of 19 for 114 yards. I mean, the 3 touchdowns looks nice, but the Chiefs got to him 6 times. Chiefs sacked him 6 times. But, the Chiefs offense, they stalled so many times in this game. The Chiefs offense was able to move the football, especially through the air, but all those plays that stalled, I mean, that killed the Chiefs. And then late in the game, in desperation time, Mahomes running into Donovan Smith. I mean, that's going to be a gif, unfortunately. And the haters, they're obviously out of the woodwork celebrating and doing their thing. But that's okay. I mean, we all know they don't get very many of these. It's almost like the Patriots. Whenever they lost, people there were parades all across America. Eli, I see you're waiting on hold, but I don't see your video. So get that turned on. I'll hook you up. Colt, you've been waiting patiently. What's going on, man?
Oh, not that much, man. Just venting over this tough loss today. I was telling everybody, it's not the loss. I'm okay with the L, but just it's never fun losing to a division rival.
No, not at all. Especially when the Chiefs have been as good as they have been in the division for a long time. That people are definitely going to be talking about this for a while. Denver fans are going to be feasting on this one. This is Denver Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yep, that is exactly right. We played pretty much. We played equally just as good as Denver. Just the turnovers and the penalties were just off the charts.
Well, hold on, Colt. The referee's hand chiefs the games. Do you not know?
No, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to that?
Yeah, I know. It just kills me. It's just we are the New England Patriots now. So
yeah,
everybody's gonna hate us. It's just gonna happen. So.
I got you, man. Yeah. Hey, listen, it's just one loss, and obviously coming this loss and getting ready for the next one internationally is going to be tough. But everyone knows the Chiefs are going to be back. This is not like the end or anything like that.
Yeah, Mahomes playing under the weather, fighting the flu. I know that's not a big, it's not a big thing, but it takes you off your game for sure.
Yeah.
So
I got you, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you calling in. I'm going to let you go. All right. Thanks for calling in, Colt.
No problem.
Eli, you've been waiting for a while. I see you got your video on. What's up, Eli?
No, I was just watching the Red Zone today. I kind of tuned into the Patriots and Dolphins game, and it's kind of scary now that, the Chiefs kind of fell apart like this, but the Dolphins are only getting so much better right now, and it's scary for next week. They play in Germany, so I hope Beach, and the whole Kansas City staff pull the trigger before Tuesday and try to bring somebody in. I know there's DeAndre Hopkins out there, Hollywood Brown. I mean, there's so many receivers out there, that can contribute to be, wide receiver one. And I just kind of hope that, Beach pulls the trigger. I don't know if it's cap space. I don't know what it is, but, I hope that they do something before Tuesday.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, I know that report came out, I mentioned a moment ago, about how the Chiefs are going to stand pat, as they said. No pun intended, but no, you have to do something. You cannot watch this game, come out of it, and think you don't need to do anything. Yeah, they have to do something.
Exactly, and then they're watching the rest of the AFC get healthy. That's the thing that's scary about it is I seen Jalen Ramsey come back today and, pull off a pick interception on Mac Jones. I was like, I was thinking about it right now, watching other teams. These teams are getting better and better. So as the games go on, and that's just a scary thing. And if the Chiefs are still in the same spot with receivers can't catch the ball, receivers can't hold on to the ball, too many penalties. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. It's kind of a scary thing going, almost in the middle of the season already.
Yeah. Well, they have some time to figure it out. Hopefully they do something, Eli. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Okay, I do want to read this comment. I know Colt brought it up. Kay commented, "Are you surprised Mahomes had the or has the flu rather? He flew with the entire team on an enclosed airplane to the Mile High City where it's already difficult to breathe." Yeah, I know a lot of people were talking about the elevation and whatnot. I'm not going to get into that. Look, listen, I'm not a doctor. This is not my area of expertise. But I will say this right now. I'm not here to make excuses. I'm not saying that comment specifically was making excuses. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, I know there are some, and I'm already seeing some Chiefs fans bring it up. I'm not here to make excuses. Okay. I've always believed if you're unable to play, then don't play. I know Mahomes is a tough guy. I mean, the guy played through that bad ankle for the entire postseason. He re-aggravated it in the Super Bowl, came back and rallied his team on every single drive, which was awesome. But for today, just not good. If you're going to be on the field playing, unless Mahomes made some plays happen, he did. You got to I'm just not here to make excuses. Officiating, yeah, there were some bad calls, but that happens every single game to every single team. Supposedly, the Chiefs only get favorable calls, but it didn't appear to be the case today. Imagine that. Yeah, Michelle says not giving up. No, not at all. Not at all. I still remember in week 1 when they lost, a lot of people were writing off the Chiefs, and look at them now. They won 6 in a row. That was the best winning streak in the NFL until now, and they were tied for the best record in the NFL. So, okay, I have a question to ask you guys, and I apologize. I'm going to be skipping over a lot of comments here because I do want to be caught up. And hey, by the way, you guys still have a chance to call into the show if you're interested. Let me comment with that one more time. So there's a link to call in. Here's my question to you guys. What is your opinion of the play calling? And specifically with Matt Nagy, who's obviously the new offensive coordinator this year, and Andy Reid. Because anytime the Chiefs offense struggles like this, the discussion is always out there. Do the Chiefs miss Eric Bieniemy? I always see it. This has always been Andy Reid's offense. It doesn't matter if it was Doug Peterson, Matt Nagy, Eric Bieniemy, back to Matt Nagy. This has always been Andy Reid's offense. Wow, a lot of you guys are on Matt Nagy. Okay. What's the number? There's no number, TJ. If you just look into the comments, I'm hoping it shows up. Let me see if I can pin the comment real quickly. But it's one of those things where you're not even why is it not letting me paste it? Bear with me, guys. One moment. It's just one of those, to me, it's always been Andy Reid's offense. Don't get me wrong. I still think Eric Bieniemy did some good things for this team, and there's a reason why Andy Reid hires an offensive coordinator. They're just not there to be play callers. Okay, I pinned the comment top of all the other comments. Yeah, a lot of people are saying we miss Eric Bieniemy, playing horrible Nagy. Not it. Sam says too conservative. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. I'm struggling to pinpoint this all on Nagy. Here's my question. Why do you guys think that the receivers are dropping passes? Because it's on offense and it's on special teams. Because the Chiefs have only been using wide receivers for punt returners. They had Richie James, then it was Montrell Washington, now it's McCole Hardman. I mean, you've got everybody, anyone and everyone who has not dropped a pass this year. Even Justin Watson had. I know Justin Watson got hurt on that same play, but it's like, man, is there anyone that's not dropping passes? A wide receiver who's not dropping a pass? Cold asked a very good question. Why aren't we running it on 3rd and 1? Yeah, I don't know what the issue is. I mean, there's obviously a big lack of confidence from the coaching staff when it comes to running the football. And they're just going for these passing plays. I don't know why. Yeah, guys, I got to be honest with you. At this point, I think Sky Moore is a bust. I really do. I'm sorry. Listen, you guys know me. I try to be very, very patient. I was very patient with McCole Hardman. I was very patient with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And I've been telling people to be patient about Sky Moore, but man, at some point it's like you just have to cut your losses at some point and understand that it's just not working out. Kadarius Toney, I think I know he's not a Chiefs draft pick per se, but the Chiefs brought him on very early in his career. He's still very young. He has a lot of he's got a lot of tank left in that a lot of gas left in the tank, but man, it's just the Chiefs have tried to bring in so many of these guys with potential to the team, and understandably so. I mean, you gotta try something, and they're just not panning out. My whole thing is like, why? Oh, okay. Anthony says, blame Taylor Swift. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, blame it all on Taylor Swift. Because when she's not there, that's when the team underperforms. And Travis Kelce doesn't have big games because everyone said so. Yeah, the drops. That's what I'm struggling with. why it's not just one player. It's not just one or two guys. It's the entire unit. It's everybody. McCole Hardman just came back. He had a drop or two last week, and he fumbled the punt return today. What is going on with the receivers? Something's up there. John says, you know who wasn't dropping passes? Amir Smith-Marset, and we traded him. Yeah. And, Justin Ross, who knows when you're going to get him back? Yeah. Listen, I liked his speed, but Jesus Christ, man, I was hoping he would come back. Bob, I see you waiting in the wings there. I'll get to you in a moment. But, man, I don't know if it's on the wide receivers coach, Connor Embry. I don't know if it's on Matt Nagy. I don't know if it's on Andy Reid. Listen, whenever a team is committing so many turnovers and committing a lot of drops, which the Chiefs are doing both of those right now, well, what do you do as a coach? You have to address it. I'm sure Andy Reid has addressed it, but has he addressed it enough, or has he addressed it the right way? I don't know. Obviously, we're not there when this is all going on, but I mean, holy shit. The amount of drops across the board is embarrassing. And you have the best quarterback in the NFL. And when the best quarterback in the NFL is getting the ball into your hands like this, and you have all these drops, it's just a hard pill to swallow. All right, Bob, you've been waiting for a while. Bob always brings this thing called energy. Okay, hold on. Let's do an air horn for Bob. Bob, what's up?
What's up, Vars? Hey, man, you always enjoy the show. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, man.
Dude, you're right. I mean, it's time to address some goddamn issues on this team. This thing ain't going away. It's getting worse. It's showing up every Sunday. We continue to win here up to this point, but it's blowed up today. It's in their face. They can't football. They can't protect the quarterback. They can't stop the run. We continue to have Snead up against the wall back there against some of the best wide receivers in football, and continue to have holding calls on him, pass interference. It's time to clean some of this shit up. I mean, we're sitting here at halfway point, or almost halfway point, I guess, and we're just continue to ignore it. The way I see it right now is this team is going in the shitter, and the Hogs are getting ready to eat our ass. I see around the NFL, the other teams that struggled early are starting to put their game together. They're addressing their issues. We need to address our issues in all phases of our game right now. It's in every phase of it. It's like cancer. It's spreading through the team.
I don't know if I agree with all facets of the game. I mean, listen, the defense, okay, sure, 24 points, that doesn't look great. I don't think that's horrible, but I think that's also a product of the Chiefs offense having some short-lived drives and not doing much. Like, I don't think you could have asked for much more from this defense today.
No, they was on the when you get on the field a lot, stay on there most of the time. I don't know what the time exactly is, how that matches up, but they seem to be on the field a lot, and that wears on them. But what about Jones? Jones really hasn't really come through on sacks here in the last couple weeks. I mean, it's just one thing right after another, man. I mean, things seem to be coming unglued here for him. So, and I know it's just this one loss, but I mean, there was nothing pretty about this game in any fashion.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right, Bob. Hey, you always bring the energy, man. I appreciate it, brother. Thanks for calling in.
Enjoy your show, man.
All right. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it. Chris Jones didn't really have the biggest game. I thought that was him before halftime who had the strip sack, but no, I got that confused for someone else. But by the way, in terms of time of possession, Denver had it for 33 minutes and 47 seconds. Kansas City for 26 minutes and 13 seconds. So yeah, that's never going to help. The only way that looks good is if you're winning in a blowout. Obviously, that's not what happened today. But here's my thing is, excuse me, I think Denver played a very smart second half. What did they do? they played this, dink and dunk type of offense. They ran the ball at times. They took their time. They were not in any hurry to score whatsoever. They eventually got a score, but they just moved very slowly. And, I mean, what does that do? That keeps Patrick Mahomes on the sideline while wearing out the Chiefs defense. That is how you beat the Chiefs. I'm surprised a lot of teams don't. A lot of teams have tried to do it, but they weren't successful. And again, I don't think the Chiefs defense played terrible in this one. Denver scored 10 points in the fourth quarter, but the Chiefs held them to 14 points for the first three quarters. In fact, in the third quarter, when the Broncos were getting ready to kick the field goal, Justin Reed goes out there and blocks it, giving the Chiefs a shot to take the lead in this one. But the Chiefs offense never capitalized. Russell Wilson was not very good in this game. In fact, he was missing a lot of wide open passes here. If Russell Wilson was hitting on those passes, this game would have been in the 40s for Denver. Like, the Chiefs would have gotten absolutely mauled. I mean, the Chiefs got beat up in this one. Don't get me wrong, but it could have been a lot worse if Russell Wilson hits his targets in this one. And this is a guy who didn't even throw the ball much today. 19 times, 19 pass attempts. Virginia, you are on the podcast. What's going on?
The first woman elected senator.
So I'm just wondering if anyone is
woman of color to be elected vice president of the United States, being in that unique position, being that.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me better now?
A lot better. Thank you. Go ahead.
Is anyone else wondering if the Chiefs are going to get somebody better in the quarterback backup?
You're talking about Blaine Gabbert. You're not a fan?
Not a fan. No.
Here's my thing, because this is a discussion about the backup quarterback. My thing is this, who are you going to find? Because you're not going to, in my opinion, I don't think there is such thing as a good backup. And I know Chad Henne did some good things for the Chiefs, but there's a reason why backups are backups. If they were good, they would have an opportunity to start somewhere. Does that make sense?
No, I feel that 100%. Yes. 1000%. Yeah. In your opinion, if Mahomes had to sit out today, Gabbert, do you think Gabbert would have done as good or better than him?
No. Oh, no. I mean, listen, Gabbert.
I don't either.
Yeah, Gabbert has not been good in the opportunities he's gotten this year. I know there was that one preseason game where he looked good. Everyone had a quarterback rating of above 100 against Arizona, but anyone can score on Arizona. Yeah, I would not have a lot of confidence. I don't know. Maybe that still would have been the right thing to do. I don't know. That I don't know. I mean, listen, this whole thing, I know there was a lot of comments today where all talking about COVID and comparing it to the flu and all this stuff. Listen, I'm not going to get into that stuff.
No.
But yeah, I don't think Gabbert would have played well. No.
No, I 100% agree that the Chiefs should have played Mahomes today, and I'm in agreement with that. It just, it gave some room for pause, hey, we really didn't have anyone to back up on us if, we needed to rest him.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to listen to the press conference because I've been doing this show, but I suppose that's one of the things that I'm going to look that up while doing this. Did you have any other questions or comments?
No. Go Chiefs.
All right, Virginia. Go Chiefs. Appreciate calling in. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. Frank says it should have been an easy game for us. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so Patrick Mahomes said he started feeling bad last night, but bounced back in the morning. Just stomach stuff. It is what it is. That's a great quote. It is what it is. Whenever an athlete gives the quote of "it is what it is," that is when they do not want to talk to the fucking media whatsoever. I'm actually surprised Mahomes is doing a press conference. I would assume he would not talk, but Anyway, I love all the people who are out in the woodwork talking about how all these people on Twitter and Facebook. Yeah, celebrate this game. Please do. I have receipts. You guys all saw that after the AFC Championship game. No, Joel, I agree. I agree. They're going to be fine, but for today, no. I mean, we can't sugarcoat this. You guys know me. Whenever the Chiefs win, I'll say all kinds of good things about this team. Whenever they lose, I bring the same energy. Listen, I'm not a Bengals fan. I'm not a Raiders fan. I don't go out hiding whenever my team loses. I'm always up here ready to talk, win or lose. But at the end of the day, I don't have confidence in this team long term with this set of wide receivers. I just don't. And I said this 2 weeks ago. I'm saying it again. I was excited for McCole Hardman to come back. One punt return. I mean, that's not gonna give people a lot of optimism in terms of his abilities as a receiver. He had a drop last week. He fumbled the punt return today. And listen, if he goes out and has a big game next week, guess what? The narrative is going to shift all over again. But I think it'll also be confusing because then people are going to ask which McCole Hardman are we going to get week in and week out. It's almost like Anthony Davis. Like which player do you get? Sorry, I'm just reading some of these comments here. I'm trying to see. Clifford says we had 3 QB sacks today. It was actually 6. Yeah, there was one off the top of my head. That it was taken away because of the L'Jarius Sneed penalty. By the way, I saw a comment earlier. Someone said they need to leave L'Jarius Sneed in Denver. I mean, look, L'Jarius Sneed had a bad game. Come on. But one game and you want him gone. Come on. And by the way, I'm seeing some comments here. People are talking about how sick Mahomes was. Yeah, but I'm not here to make excuses. I'm just not. If you played, see, this is what I was saying about Joe Burrow earlier in the year. All the Bengals fans that were willing to speak up, a majority of them left. They were nowhere to be found during the early struggles. But the ones that were around were talking about how he's fighting through a leg injury or a calf injury. It's like, yeah, but he's playing. I'm sure Mahomes was dealing with a lot in this game. But if you're playing, man. And if you're going to throw the ball as much as he did, you got to make things happen. You got to play well. And again, I'm not blaming this game on the sickness. There were so many drops and turnovers in this game. I don't think that had to do with that. Did MVS fumbling have anything to do with Mahomes being sick? Did these drops have anything to do with Mahomes being sick? No, not at all. It's the same thing in week 1. A lot of people were saying, well, if Chris Jones and Travis Kelce played, the Chiefs would have won that game. And I don't agree. Yeah, sure, maybe they win that game, but that's not why they lost. The Chiefs had a lot of opportunities in that game to take the lead, extend the lead, but all the drops made it not the case. Yeah, I agree with you, Jose. No excuses. 100%. Do I think the entire team is under the weather? I don't know. I mean, I would imagine that it would have been. I would imagine that you would have noticed that on the field. Listen, I don't think Mahomes looked sick. Like he didn't look like a guy that was physically like just struggling to do what he needed to do. The Chiefs offense has struggled like this all year long. This is not anything new to me, at least this season. Mahomes has played well, but the offense has kind of underperformed at times. There have been times where the Chiefs offense has been in the top 10, and then times where they've been just outside of the top 10. See, that's what I was saying, Kent. I agree. I mean, if they catch passes in this one, I think Mahomes still did some things in this game that he would like to have back. A couple of questionable decision making on his throws, but I mean, I do agree that you got to catch the ball. You got to do that. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a lot of you guys are talking about the offense, and I think we all agree. Colt says just got to shake it off. Well played, Colt. Here's my thing. The two losses the Chiefs have this year, we can look at that and say that the defense was not responsible. I mean, there's no way. Listen, you cannot hold a team to 0.0 yards all the time. That is damn near impossible to do. You're going to give up yards. You're going to give up big plays. You're going to give up points. The Chiefs defense has not given up a lot of points this year. The Broncos scored 24 on the Chiefs. That is the most the Chiefs have given up this year. So it's not like the Chiefs defense has been getting rolled over in these games. They haven't. We've yet to really see. We saw a bad half last week against the Chargers, but we haven't seen a full bad game from start to finish. We haven't seen a team score more than 21 points on the Chiefs until today. So this is not on the defense. It's definitely not on Harrison Butker. I mean, he went out there and made all 3 field goals, including a 56-yarder, but to be shut out in the second half, that I think is the part that hurts the most. Obviously, the Chiefs could have kicked the field goal, but they were in no position to do that. I mean, you're not looking to prevent a shutout. You have to get to the end zone. The Chiefs moved the football. That really was not the issue. The issue was taking care of the football. Not allowing those mental mistakes, and the Chiefs unfortunately did that. Yeah, Doreen mentions the wide receivers. Anthony, I saw a comment from you earlier about not having a wide receiver at all. Yeah, there it is. I'm with you guys. I mean, Rashee Rice, I do agree that a lot of, and this is not my opinion, everyone's saying this, that he is the best wide receiver on the team, but this is not the guy. I mean, he's not putting up big numbers, and I understand he's a rookie. So, I'm not trying to criticize a rookie because he's still been far more productive than anyone else this season on the offensive side of things. Justin Watson, he has not been as productive, but he has the highest yard per catch average by a lot. So this is what I struggle with is, where is that effort from the rest of the wide receivers? Kadarius Toney, I mean, there was all this talk about him being a number 1 receiver. And so where is he? Did he even have a catch in this game? He had am I on the right page? Yeah. Okay. He had 1 carry for -3 yards. I don't even remember that. He had 1 catch for 4 yards. What is Kadarius Toney's stat line on the season? Because it is not good for a guy who possesses the speed that he has. Bear with me one moment, guys. He's got 18 catches for 105 yards. How do you have just 105 yards off 18 catches? You should have close to 200 yards. I mean, you're not even anywhere near that. And again, I don't know how much of this is on coaching or on Mahomes or the offense. That's beyond my pay grade. This is just not a good unit. Ken says Spags has been great all year. See, this is my thing. Cody also gives some love to Spags. I remember last year, a lot of people were criticizing Spags, and some people were even calling for him to be fired. And now look at the job he's doing this year. And the fact that this defense has picked it up and are playing so great, and the offense has taken steps back, I think that's the hardest part for me, is that the year the defense is playing lights out, the offense has really gone backwards. How do you turn that around offensively? That's what I want to know. That, I think, has been the toughest part for me this season. Lisa says, I'm glad Hartman is back. All of these guys have bad days. I wish they weren't at the same game, but hey, here we are. But see, this is the thing, Lisa, like he's only been back for a couple of games and he's already like he's what he's struggling with is what all the other receivers have been struggling with. The Chiefs brought him back, number one, because he's very familiar with the offense. Number two, they need help at this position group. And he's making the same errors as the rest of the wide receivers. That I think is the most frustrating thing about bringing him back is that, you know, I don't see a difference right now in Mecole Hardman and Kadarius Toney. I don't. Only difference is Mecole Hardman has that one big punt return that really helped the Chiefs last week. That's it. Daniel, you're on. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good, man. What's on your mind?
Who are we going to use to punt to return? Rashee
Right
Rice,
now?
maybe? Would you do it?
At the beginning of the season, it was Richie James. Then it was Montreal Washington. Now it's Mecole Hardman.
You think Rashee Rice, maybe? Would you try him?
I don't know, man.
Because you can't turn the ball over 5 times and expect to win this game. I'm sorry. We had 5 turnovers. But the key turnover, to me, the heartbreak one, was the Mecole Hardman one. Because you're only down, 14-9 at that time?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that was the case.
So that's the hardest one to do. I mean, your defense has played lights out. I know that Nick Bolton not being there might have, but those guys stepped up. Tranquill stepped up. Karlaftis stepped up. So it wasn't really noticeable until the end, but because I think they got tired. But there's those key turnovers. That's what I think is what really gets my mind. Everybody's, it's time for Mahomes to have the MJ flu game. I know he doesn't need to have an MJ flu game, and I'm tired of the whole stat with Kelsey and who's in the audience and who's not in the audience. Defenses are going to double team him from now on and make your other wide receiver core beat you. And I kind of saw that in the Charger game, where they started bringing or disguising us double team on Kelsey, making Rice and MVS and everybody like that beat you. And I think that's what teams are going to do this week for now on. I'm looking forward to this. You think they were looking forward to Germany?
I mean, after this, I know they're probably down, but they don't have time to really pout about it. I mean, they've got a very good Dolphins team. I know the Dolphins beat up on bad teams and they lose to good teams. So I don't know. I guess that
was their head in Germany already?
Oh, like that? I sure as hope not. But
I mean, some reporters going to ask them, but I doubt they're going to say yes. But
no. Athletes will never admit to that kind of thing. But I will say this: the Chiefs were absolutely overconfident coming into this game. Athletes will never admit to overconfidence, but there was absolutely overconfidence in this one, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. When I was watching the game, I was just like, okay, something seems to be missing. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator with Nagy. Something's different. They're clicking here, they click there, but we'll see. I don't think they're going to get a wide receiver because there's no wide receiver out there. Who's going to give the defending champions a A-list wide receiver?
Okay, see, that's a really good question. And I think I saw a comment earlier. I missed it. Someone was talking about who is there to get. I mean, you got guys like DeAndre Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, Mike Evans. The Buccaneers looked good early on, and now, I mean, I don't know if Mike Evans wants to stick around. And to answer your question, Daniel, it's actually a very valid question. If you're the Chiefs, you better sweeten the pot. Okay. No one wants to make the reigning champions even better. So if you are the team that wants a big name player, listen, man, don't be shy about giving up 2 first-round draft picks. I don't think any team's going to say no to that.
Is Justin Jefferson on the trade block now that Cousins is done for the year?
I don't know. I know Jefferson's on IR. I have not followed that very closely.
I don't know if Hopkins is available because what Will Love, it's what he did that they might have found their quarterback finally. So I don't know if he'll want to leave, but
all right, man.
I don't know. All right, man. Well,
hey, I appreciate it, Daniel. You take care.
You too, man. Have a good one.
All right. Hey, we got a lot more comments to read. In fact, Ken has a very interesting comment here that I definitely want to read. But before we get into that, I want to let you guys know this podcast is also brought to you by Manscaped, another big sponsor of ours. Proud to have Manscaped on. As a matter of fact, they have a brand new product on the market. I've always told you guys about the Lawnmower 4.0, how great it is. One of my favorite parts, definitely reduces below the belt accidents. Gentlemen, we've all been there before. That's happened many times. But the thing about the Lawnmower 5.0 has some massive upgrades on that one right there. And my favorite part, the LED flashlight. That definitely is a big upgrade. It's bigger, it's better, it's safer. You guys definitely need to check out the Lawnmower 5.0. Join the 7 million people worldwide who trust Manscaped with their products. And if you guys want to become a member of a Manscaped-owned product, go to manscaped.com, enter my promo code FARZINE20. You will save 20% off and free shipping from your purchase. And this is not just a one-time purchase for new customers. You can use this as many times as you please. I'm telling you right now, Manscaped has a lot of great products. Give them a chance. Use my promo code FARZINE20. Save yourself 20% off and free shipping. Get yourself the Lawnmower 5.0. That is the newest product on the market from Manscaped, the Lawnmower 5.0, and you can save 20% off and free shipping by using the promo code FARZINE20. Okay, so Ken asked a really good question here, and I said this earlier, and I know a lot of you guys have been going in and out of the chat. Ken's asking, why would Pat ever trust Sky Moore in a key spot again? He says, cut your losses and cut him. Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm not interested in Sky Moore anymore on this football team. I'm really not. But here's my question. Who do you throw to in that situation? Like who do you go to? Is Kadarius Toney, has he been reliable this year? Has who else? I'm even forgetting receivers on this team. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, has he been reliable this year? I would say the most reliable player has been Justin Watson, but that's not a player the Chiefs use on a consistent basis. Rashee Rice is your best and most productive wide. Even he has contributed to the drop issues this year. And not just in one game. It's happened in a couple of games for him. So I don't know at the end of the day, like, who do you throw to in that situation? I agree. Sky Moore is not a reliable football player. But what wide receiver is right now on the Chiefs? Your most reliable wide receivers are Rashee Rice and Justin Watson. That's not good. If those two are your most reliable players, that is a bad thing. Dan says 2 years ago we would have killed for a defense like that. Yeah, that would have been nice to have. Yeah, Gwen, you're right. Barely saw the field, and that's credit to Denver's offense. They had the perfect game plan to keep the Chiefs on the sidelines while they were wearing out the Chiefs defense. You even saw it at one point. They were showing Chris Jones in between plays. I mean, the guy was just gasping for air at one point. It's like, man, they really do have our defense up against the wall right now. Credit to them, because that is the worst the defense has looked. TJ says, call me. And TJ, you got to hear. I'll comment again. There. It says call into the show, and it has a StreamYard link. You got to click that. You can call in from a phone, a computer, it doesn't matter. Just as long as you can, as long as it has Wi-Fi and you can turn on your camera. See, a lot of people are saying this. Nick says we should have paid Tyreek Hill. See, nobody was saying this after Super Bowl 57. You know, you go out there and you win the Super Bowl without Patrick Mahomes. Won the MVP without him, and with two terrible offensive tackles. I'm not interested in a discussion about, should the Chiefs have kept Tyreek Hill, because nobody was having this discussion. The week of the Super Bowl, what were the two biggest storylines? Donna Kelsey and, oh my God, how the hell did the Chiefs get here without Tyreek Hill? It was talked about all week long. And now we're reverting back to, because all year long, everybody was annoyed about announcers bringing up Tyreek Hill. People are still bringing up the Tyreek Hill thing, even more so now. Listen, you have to live and die by the choices you make. You can't sit here and wonder a year and a half later if you regret any of these decisions. You made the choice. There was a disagreement, obviously, on the pay, and you have to live with that. Because if you pay Tyreek Hill, then do you think you'd be able to keep guys like Chris Jones? Possibly. You have to think about Chris Jones and a few other guys pretty soon. So that is something you got to think about. I'm seeing some tweets. People are blaming Patrick Mahomes and want him off the team. Here we go. Here come the overreactions. I guess whenever we have a loss, I need to do like a little segment called maybe I can have you guys email like videos and you guys can just give me your biggest overreaction. That would be quite a segment. Okay, TJ is saying Rice, Hardman, and Tony need jet sweeps. I don't disagree, but here's my thing: is that how many times have the Chiefs ran that play, even with Tyreek Hill, even after Tyreek Hill left? My point is, there is this thing called game film. Coaches watch film. They show it to the players. They tell them what to prepare for. And I think the Chiefs are at a point where a lot of these things like the shovel pass, the jet sweeps, defenses have caught on. They know when to expect it. Whenever another team does it, it works because nobody expects other teams to do it. They don't do it as many times as the Chiefs have. I think when you run the same play so many times and when it's successful, like look, the what do you call it? The tush push or brotherly love, whatever the hell they call it in Philadelphia. They came out with a new variation of it where they faked it and handed off to, I think it was DeAndre Swift, and he ran all the way to the end zone, which was a very smart play call. Even the tight end quarterback sneak, they're not running anymore because they know it's just expected. Where's James and Cornell Powell? I assume you mean Richie James. I mean, listen, Cornell Powell. I don't know. Like, what's Cornell Powell going to do? What is Cornell Powell going to do? I know he was a draft pick in 2021, but he's hardly seen the field, and there's probably a reason for it. Bob says, hell, I can do that. I'm 67. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Like Watson, this offseason, anytime I heard people talk about Justin Watson, people were bringing up the fact that he had those two massive drops last year. I can't remember who it was against, but people would only bring that up. Now, and Jordan, you make a valid point. The fact that he's been productive whenever they get the ball to him. And the fact that, Rice and Watson are like the two most reliable receivers, that's not good. No. And I'm just being honest. I don't want to shit on the team and all, but you guys know me. I got to keep it honest with you guys. Got to keep it 100. Here's what I want to know. Listen, I'm looking at your comments, and listen, you guys are. I appreciate everyone and what you guys are saying. A lot of great comments here, and I'm behind about several minutes, so I'm trying to catch up on these. But we're getting a lot of repeat comments here. Okay, Nick says 5 turnovers and lost by 15. That's not terrible. Should have lost by much more. That I do agree with. If Russell Wilson was on point. John Baldwin. I remember that name. I was so excited for that one. I remember I wrote a Facebook post on my personal account, and it comes up on my Facebook memories every year around draft week. I said Jonathan Baldwinning. There was not a lot of winning with him. Didn't he go to like the XFL or something like that? I don't know. Okay, here's my thing. I lost my train of thought for a second. I want to know how the Chiefs are going to respond here. I was not worried about how the Chiefs were going to respond the last time they lost against the Lions because you lost by 1 point. Unfortunately, from that loss, you still have those drop issues. Did any of you guys listen to Andy Reid's press conference? Did he say anything about the drops? Am I doing giveaways today? No, but we have one going on that ends Tuesday. So hopefully you've entered that. Yeah, the glare, that little light right there. Yeah, I know. I'm surprised it took this long for someone to mention that. You know what I was really surprised by? Because I used to do these podcasts in the man cave. Nobody trolled me about the little vent in the background because I was like embarrassed about having that on there. I just want to know like how the Chiefs are going to respond in this next game. How are the Chiefs going to respond? Is it better if I do this? Just take off the glasses. There, no glare there. Yeah, the lights here. I got to get a longer cable for it because if I turn off the light, yeah, that's what it looks like. I don't know. Does that look good? Not. I don't know. You guys be the judge. In fact, I would actually like your guys' response to that. I just want to know how are the Chiefs going to look coming off this loss because this was embarrassing. You lost 24-9, and you couldn't even get a touchdown in this one here. That's what was really embarrassing about this. Yeah, sure, 15 points. Okay, I get the comment that I just mentioned earlier. Could have been worse. I mean, Russell Wilson's not a good quarterback. I know Denver. I mean, Broncos country. Let's ride. Yeah, that's probably happening tonight because they're on their high horses. But it's not like Denver's going to a Super Bowl anytime soon. This is their Super Bowl. This is 100% their Super Bowl. We don't have a wide receiver one, Colt says. And Samuel commented, all wide receivers are garbage. See, a few weeks ago, everyone was complaining about Rashee Rice not getting enough playing time. And now he is, and now people are not happy with his production. I'm not saying Rashee Rice, I'm not saying you guys are wrong, but it is pretty frustrating to watch. And I was thinking about this last night too. Like if the draft was today, what do the Chiefs need to do? I think they need to trade up for a wide receiver. Forget about Marvin Harrison Jr. There's no way in hell anyone in the top 2 is going to let you trade up for Marvin Harrison Jr. No way. I mean, you have to give up someone. You probably would have to give up Chris Jones to try to get Marvin Harrison Jr. That's not happening. Eric says the Chiefs wide receivers could have used Manscaped products to shave their hair off their hands and catch passes. Hopefully they use a promo code Farzine20 because they can save 20% off. Not that they need 20% off, but hey, you can. There's no such thing as being too rich and not wanting to save. There's always room to save, right? Eddie says, how much money are we into Tony and more? Not much. Let me, that's actually a really good question. Let me look that up real quickly. I know for a fact, Sky Moore, not much at all because he's still on his rookie deal. The Chiefs drafted him as. Let me quickly look at Kadarius Toney and his figures. Yeah, I mean, Tony's about the same. He's got, his cap hit is very close to $2 million. Yeah, $2 million is a lot of money to all of us, but that's nothing for an NFL team. Okay, I don't want to say it's nothing, but it's, I mean, it's a rookie deal we're talking about here. It's $2.5 million next year. Oh, do the Chiefs have the 5th-year option with? I mean, it would not technically be his 5th year with the Chiefs, but I'm seeing an empty spot on the 5th year. Okay, interesting. Unless I'm reading this wrong, that's just the way it shows. Yeah, I'm not going to bother looking up Kadarius or Sky Moore's information because I know he's on a rookie deal and it's not that much. Yeah, a lot of people are mentioning Blaine Gabbert in this one, and maybe how he should have played. I don't know. Oh yeah, Catherine. Of course, Tyreek Hill's going to talk a lot of shit. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think like not having Tyreek Hill is the issue. I mean, you just won a Super Bowl without him. That's no accident. Adam Thielen, I would not be mad about, Gwen. Not at all. To me, it's like there are a lot of mental mistakes that are being made with the Chiefs. The drops. I just don't even know. Like, okay, if you're just a slow wide receiver and you're not running routes well, then you're just a bad receiver. But something as simple as drops, I mean, that is a mental error right there. That should be you can find ways to fix that. My question is how? I don't have the answer to that. Like, what does a coach do to try to address that? That is what I want to know. That's my biggest question. I'm just reading some tweets here to see some of the reactions, some of the stats out there. Yeah, see, TJ says Tom Brady take the pay cut to sign the best team players. I know Mahomes is not. He got that new deal. I don't know salary cap wise how that adjusts anything, but you know, it's like, dude, you're already making a lot of money with your football contract anyway, and you cannot turn on your TV and not see a Patrick Mahomes commercial. Doesn't matter if you're watching sports, doesn't matter if you're watching cable news. Like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, they're on every single like set of commercial stacks at least once. What happened? Oh, you're talking about the corn dog play? I think that's what it was called. Well, again, here's my thing. It's like, I think that only works when you're close to the end zone. And even then, it's like, how many times can you really run that and not expect defenses to pick up on it? Chiefs open as 2-point favorites over the Dolphins. How? Yeah. I mean, it's not like they won the Super Bowl or anything last year. No, Robert, I get it. I mean, listen, coming off this loss, it's fresh in our minds. I can understand people feeling that way. I still think there are reasons to pick the Chiefs. I've got to be honest, I completely missed that play. I got to look that up. Thanks for letting me know. I guess it's a good thing I missed that one. Plus, you guys know the Man Cave, what it looks like. I'm watching 4 games at once. Okay, Gwen asked a good question. If we trade for a wide receiver, would they be realistically ready for Germany? Probably not. But, you know, unfortunately, the trade deadline is the week the Chiefs are traveling internationally. So that's just the way it works. Hey, man, I trust in Veach, too. I've been praising Veach since day one. The first thing he did is he got the Chiefs out of their cap hellhole. And since then, he's made a lot of great moves. But here's the toughest part. If you really want to repeat as Super Bowl champions, or at the very least make a playoff run, though I will say a deep playoff run is not really the standard here. What do you do if you're Brett Veach? What move do you do to keep the Chiefs in Super Bowl contention? That's my question from Brett Veach right now. Because the current wide receivers are not cutting it. Listen, I love Brett Veach. I think he's done a great job at, you know, he was the one who was keeping an eye on Patrick Mahomes before he became a general manager. I think he's done a great job with the offensive line, how he revamped that in pretty much one off season. He's done a great job bringing in some good defensive players the past couple of years. The past couple of drafts have been great. But the one position that Brett Veach has missed on completely is wide receivers. 100%. We can't sit here and sugarcoat that. I know the jury's still out on on Rashee Rice, but McCole Hardman and Sky Moore, not good. People were criticizing Sky Moore last year. It's like, why? The guy was not playing much last year because he was behind Juju Smith-Schuster, McCole Hardman, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. You can't criticize the guy for not getting playing time. I mean, that's not on him. He was part of a wide receiver room where he was low on the depth chart there. There were some veterans ahead of him. Now, where he is getting opportunities, he's not making the most of those opportunities. He had a chance today, and he missed. Mike says, I will say there was a few times I saw receivers open and Patty didn't see him for whatever reason. Yeah, that's been happening. This actually happened in the first meeting between the Chiefs and Broncos too. I mentioned that earlier. David says it's coming back to me why we traded Hardman at the beginning of the season. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it was the beginning of the season, but and I think you might have had a word there that was hit with autocorrect or something, but I think you mentioned the beginning of the season. I don't know if you meant to say the Jets not using him as much. Yeah, I suppose. Corey says Harry Palms might actually help. Oh boy, maybe just get some of those gloves with holes on them. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, a lot of people are saying the Chiefs should have kept Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't disagree. I was bummed out when Juju went to the Patriots. I was a huge fan of Juju Smith-Schuster. I've been a big fan of Juju even before he got to Kansas City. I was very excited when the Chiefs went and got him. Sammy Watkins is available. Yeah, but he's dealing with so many injuries. There's a reason why Sammy Watkins is a journeyman in the NFL now. He was able to stay in Kansas City for a couple of years, but since then, man, it has not been good. But I can't say I'd be shocked if the Chiefs gave him one more chance. You think firing the wide receivers coach, Samuel says, that's all your comment says. I think you meant to ask, is firing the wide receivers coach a solution? I don't know. We're talking about Connor Embry here. This is a guy who was the quality control coach, I think, the year before, and now he's the wide receivers coach. Listen, you have a lot of guys who are in new spots. You have a new wide receivers coach who was a quality control coach. You have a quarterbacks coach who's now the offensive coordinator. You do have some offensive assistants who are in new spots this year. Is that playing a role? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, listen, Andy Reid, he's been a good head coach. He's had good teams for a long time. And when you have a team that's as good as the Eagles and the Chiefs, there's going to come a point where you lose assistant coaches to other teams, whether it's head coaching jobs or offensive coordinator jobs or defensive coordinator jobs elsewhere. I know we're talking mainly the offense, but it's still his offense. He's had to deal with changes before, is what my point is. If the Chiefs fire Connor Embry, is that a solution? I don't know. I don't know if they're doing anything to help the Chiefs receivers right now. And I'm not just pointing this on one assistant coach. I'm lumping in Andy Reid and Matt Nagy in this. I mean, Andy Reid's the offensive mastermind with all of this, and Matt Nagy's the offensive coordinator. So I think they bear some responsibility as well. That would be awesome to have an Edelman type of player. But unfortunately, maybe in an alternate universe, Kent, but not the case right now. Boy, I mean, I hate to say, oh, Sean, you already know. See, some of you guys have been following me for way too long, to the point where you know what's coming. Yeah, I don't think Belichick's going to do that. I don't think Belichick will send Juju back to the Chiefs. I mean, the Jets were willing to do it. And I think I can see why. Yeah, a lot of people here are talking about getting a playmaker, getting a wide receiver. Jackson says, see, someone else mentioned this too in the comments, but I didn't really read it. Jackson's asking if throwing to Blake Bell is your plan, you need a new plan. I don't know if you're responding to me, Jackson. I haven't even mentioned Blake Bell's name today. So I'm guessing that's a response to another comment. It doesn't specify if you guys are responding to each other, by the way, on StreamYard. I wish it did that on here because on Facebook's chat through the Facebook app, you can see that. Asaf says, we also having problems with Nagy. That's what Mahomes was a little bit arguing with him on the sideline. I think he was telling Nagy that nobody gets open. Chiefs are missing Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that about EB. I didn't really notice an argument with Nagy. When was this? I did not notice that. Greg says, can we send McCole Hardman back to the Jets? Oh boy. Yeah. Okay, so I'm caught up on the comments here. Hey, I appreciate you guys. You guys have been awesome. I don't want to lose games, but you guys show up the most whenever there's a loss. Which, hey, props to you guys because a lot of fan bases, they disappear after a loss. There's always more to say after a loss than a win. Listen, I've been doing this podcast since 2007 with a few breaks here and there, but I've learned over the years that people always have far more things to say after a loss than a win. Especially when the standard is so high. People always have things to say after a loss. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. We've covered a lot here. I know this was really an offensive loaded show. I've said before, I think the defense played great. I know somebody called in, I forgot who it was, about Nick Bolton being out. And listen, I don't think Nick Bolton's absence was a factor. I don't think so. It would have been nice to have Nick Bolton, but I don't think it makes a difference with your offense still at the end of the day. Thank you guys. Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate it. To me, it's just at the end of the day, the defense did the best they could have done. Denver had a very smart game plan in the second half where they dominated time of possession, and that's always going to hurt a defense. And Patrick Mahomes staying on the sidelines, that's always going to happen. And I don't think it mattered too much, keeping Mahomes off the field, because whenever the offense was on the field, the Chiefs just could not take care of the football. That was the most frustrating part in this game. The Chiefs have not done a very good job taking care of the football in total this year. Gotta reduce the giveaways. Gotta reduce the drops. If you do that, you're undefeated. You're 8-0 on the season. So the Chiefs have some things to fix. They've got to address those issues. I'm sure they have been, but not enough. And they got to be better about that. How do you be better about that? I don't know. I would be coaching in the NFL if I had the answer to that. So let's see what the Chiefs do moving forward with all of this. All right. Hey, props to you guys. Thank you all for downloading and listening to this episode of the Chiefs Zone. For those of you who tuned in live on Facebook and on YouTube, boy, the comments were just off the charts. So thank you guys for all of that. You guys have been awesome during this live chat. I'm going to get out of here. My name is Farzin Visugian. Thank you again for downloading and listening to the podcast. Please share the links. Let your friends know about the podcast. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. We'll be back Wednesday. We'll do a preview podcast. We'll preview the game between the Chiefs and Dolphins in Germany. We will also do our Red Friday live chat each and every single Red Friday, as we always do. So make sure you guys join me for Red Friday. We did our Red Friday live chat a little earlier this Friday because I had another commitment that evening. So I'll try to do it back to normal because we didn't have as many people tuning in, probably because a lot of people were not expecting it to be early. So we'll have that back to normal this Friday. So tune in Friday evening around 6 or 7 o'clock is when we usually do it. And then, of course, Sunday. I don't know how we're going to do the pregame show. It is going to be early as hell, but we'll figure something out nonetheless. All right. My name is Farzi Visugi, and thank you again for downloading and listening to the Chiefs Zone. I'm out. Take care.